Every new morning is a precious gift from God, a fresh beginning filled with opportunities, hope, and purpose. When we wake up and start our day with prayer, we are not just repeating words. We are opening our hearts to God and inviting His presence into our lives. Morning prayer is powerful because it sets the tone for the entire day. It reminds us that we are not alone and that God is always near, ready to listen, guide, and strengthen us. The message of the Bible, especially in the book of Psalms, teaches us that God hears the cries of His people and answers them in times of trouble. When we begin our day by remembering this truth, our hearts become calmer and our minds become focused on what truly matters. In the quiet moments of the morning, before the noise and responsibilities of the day begin, prayer creates a special connection between us and God. It is like speaking to a loving Father who understands every fear, every dream, and every challenge we face. Sometimes people think that prayer must be long or complicated, but in reality, sincere and simple words are enough. When we thank God for the gift of life, ask for wisdom, and place our worries in His hands, we experience peace that cannot be explained by human understanding. This peace gives us strength to face the day with confidence. Life is not always easy. There are moments of difficulty, disappointment, and uncertainty. Everyone experiences times when problems feel too heavy to carry alone. It might be struggles in education, work, family, health, or personal goals. In such moments, many people feel worried or afraid. But the message of faith reminds us that when we call upon God, He listens. Morning prayer helps us remember that our problems are not bigger than God's power. Instead of starting the day with stress or negative thoughts, we can start with trust. Trust means believing that even if we do not immediately see the solution, God is already working behind the scenes. Beginning the day with prayer also helps shape our attitude. When we pray, we develop patience, humility, and gratitude. These qualities are important because they influence how we respond to challenges and how we treat others. A person who starts the day with prayer is more likely to speak kindly, act wisely, and remain calm in stressful situations. Prayer reminds us that every person we meet during the day is also a creation of God, deserving respect and compassion. This understanding helps build stronger relationships and creates a more positive environment wherever we go. Morning prayer also encourages discipline and focus. Just like physical exercise strengthens the body, spiritual habits strengthen the mind and heart. When we make time for prayer each morning, we are training ourselves to prioritize what is important. This small act of dedication can influence other areas of life, including education, work, and personal growth. A focused mind is more productive, more creative, and more capable of solving problems. Prayer clears away confusion and replaces it with clarity and purpose. Another beautiful aspect of morning prayer is gratitude. When we pause to thank God for the blessings in our lives, we begin to see how much we already have. Sometimes people spend too much time focusing on what they lack, forgetting the countless gifts they have received. The ability to breathe, to learn, to love, and to hope are all blessings that should never be taken for granted. Gratitude changes our perspective. Instead of complaining about difficulties, we start appreciating the lessons they bring. Instead of feeling discouraged, we become motivated to move forward with faith and determination. Prayer in the morning also helps us prepare for unexpected situations. No one knows what the day will bring. There may be challenges we did not expect or decisions we did not plan to make. But when we begin the day by asking God for guidance, we gain confidence that He will lead us through whatever comes our way. This confidence does not remove problems, but it changes how we face them. Instead of reacting with fear, we respond with faith. Instead of giving up, we continue moving forward with hope. In addition, morning prayer encourages us to live with purpose. It reminds us that our lives are not meaningless or random. Each person has unique talents and abilities given by God. When we pray, we ask God to help us use these gifts in the best possible way. Whether we are students, teachers, workers, or leaders, we all have the opportunity to make a positive difference in the world. Even small actions, such as helping someone in need or offering words of encouragement, can bring light into someone's life. As the day continues and responsibilities increase, the peace we receive during morning prayer stays with us. It becomes a source of strength during difficult moments. When problems arise, we can remember the quiet conversation we had with God in the morning and trust that He is still with us. This awareness helps us remain calm, focused, and hopeful even when circumstances become challenging. Starting the day with prayer is therefore not just a religious habit. It is a powerful foundation for a meaningful and successful life. It fills the heart with faith, the mind with clarity, and the spirit with courage. Each morning becomes a reminder that God listens, God cares, and God answers in the day of trouble. When we choose to begin our day in this way, we are choosing peace over worry, faith over fear, and hope over doubt. And with that spirit, we can walk through the day with confidence, knowing that, whatever challenges we face, we are guided and supported by a loving and faithful God. Prayer is one of the most powerful ways a person can communicate with God. It is not simply a ritual or a tradition. It is a personal conversation between the human heart and the Creator. Many people sometimes feel that their prayers are too small, too weak, or too simple to be heard. They may wonder if God truly listens when they speak quietly in the early morning or when they cry out during difficult moments. However, the message of the Bible consistently teaches that God listens to every sincere prayer. When a person calls upon Him with honesty and faith, their voice is never ignored. Even when the answer does not come immediately, God is always aware of what is being asked and what is needed. One of the most comforting truths about prayer is that God understands the deepest parts of our hearts. Human beings often struggle to explain their feelings to others. Sometimes words are not enough to describe fear, sadness, hope, or gratitude. Yet God understands even the thoughts we cannot express clearly. When we pray, we do not need perfect language or complicated sentences. What matters most is sincerity. A simple prayer spoken with faith can be more meaningful than many words spoken without belief. God looks at the heart, and when He sees genuine trust, He listens with love and compassion. Many people expect that every prayer will be answered quickly and exactly as they ask. When this does not happen, they may feel discouraged or begin to doubt. But understanding how God answers prayers requires patience and faith. Sometimes the answer is yes, and the request is granted. Sometimes the answer is wait, because the right time has not yet arrived. At other times, the answer may be different from what was expected, because God sees a bigger picture than we do. What may seem like a delay or a refusal could actually be protection or preparation for something better. In this way, God's wisdom guides every response. Life often brings moments of uncertainty and struggle. A student may worry about exams and the future. A parent may worry about the well-being of their children. A worker may worry about financial stability and responsibilities. These worries can create stress and fear if a person tries to carry them alone. Prayer allows people to release those burdens and place them in God's hands. When someone prays with faith, they are saying, "God, I trust that you are in control." This trust brings a sense of peace that cannot be easily explained. It reminds the heart that there is a greater power guiding life's journey. Another important part of prayer is consistency. Just as friendships grow stronger through regular communication, a person's relationship with God grows stronger through regular prayer. When people pray daily, especially in the morning, they develop a deeper awareness of God's presence in their lives. This awareness changes how they think and act throughout the day. Instead of feeling alone when challenges appear, they remember that they have already placed their concerns before God. This memory becomes a source of courage and strength. Prayer also helps shape a person's character. When someone spends time speaking with God, they often begin to reflect on their actions and attitudes. Prayer encourages humility because it reminds us that we depend on God's guidance. It encourages honesty because we cannot hide our true thoughts from Him. It also encourages kindness because when we ask God for mercy and help, we become more willing to show mercy and help to others. In this way, prayer not only changes situations, but also transforms the person who prays. There are many stories in the Bible that show how God listens to prayers. People who felt weak or afraid called upon Him and received strength. People who were lost found direction. People who were suffering found comfort and hope. These stories remind believers that prayer has always been a powerful connection between humanity and God. Even today, millions of people around the world continue to experience the peace and guidance that come from sincere prayer. It is also important to remember that prayer is not only about asking for things. While it is natural to bring our needs and worries to God, prayer also includes gratitude and praise. When people thank God for the blessings they already have, their perspective changes. Instead of focusing only on problems, they begin to notice the many gifts present in their lives. The ability to breathe, to learn, to love, and to hope are blessings that deserve appreciation. Gratitude strengthens faith and creates a positive mindset. In moments when life feels overwhelming, remembering that God hears every prayer can bring great comfort. Even when circumstances do not change immediately, the act of praying can change the way a person feels. It replaces anxiety with calmness and replaces despair with hope. This inner peace allows individuals to continue moving forward with confidence. Faith in God's listening ear also encourages perseverance. When someone believes their prayers matter, they are less likely to give up during difficult times. Instead of losing hope, they continue to trust that God is working in ways they may not yet see. This belief becomes a powerful motivation to keep trying, keep learning, and keep believing that better days are ahead. Ultimately, prayer reminds us that we are never truly alone. No matter where we are or what situation we face, God is always present and attentive. Every whispered prayer, every silent request, and every thankful word reaches Him. This truth gives believers the courage to face life's challenges with faith and determination. When people understand that God hears every prayer, their hearts become stronger, their hope becomes brighter, and their lives become filled with a deeper sense of purpose and peace. Life is filled with different seasons. Some days are joyful and full of success, while other days bring challenges, pain, and uncertainty. Every person, no matter how strong or successful they may appear, experiences moments of difficulty. These difficult moments can test our patience, our courage, and our faith. During such times, many people feel overwhelmed by fear or worry because they focus only on the problem in front of them. However, faith teaches us a different way to respond. Instead of allowing fear to control our hearts, we are encouraged to trust God and believe that He is present even in the hardest situations. Trusting God during difficult times is not always easy. When problems appear suddenly, it is natural for the human mind to search for quick solutions. Sometimes people feel anxious because they want everything to be under their control. Yet life often reminds us that not everything can be controlled by human effort alone. Unexpected challenges can appear in many forms, such as financial struggles, health issues, family conflicts, or personal disappointments. In these moments, faith becomes a powerful source of strength. Trusting God means believing that even when we cannot see the path ahead, He is guiding our steps and working for our good. Faith does not mean that problems will disappear immediately. Instead, it gives us the courage to face them without losing hope. When a person trusts God, they understand that every challenge can carry a lesson and every hardship can lead to growth. Difficult times can shape character, develop patience, and strengthen determination. Just as a tree becomes stronger after facing storms, a person's faith often becomes deeper after overcoming struggles. This perspective helps people see challenges not only as obstacles, but also as opportunities to grow spiritually and emotionally. One of the greatest benefits of trusting God is the sense of peace it brings to the heart. Worry and fear can drain a person's energy and make problems feel even larger than they truly are. But when someone places their trust in God, they release the heavy burden of trying to solve everything alone. This act of trust creates inner calmness. Even if the situation around them remains difficult, their heart becomes steady because they believe that God is in control. This peace allows them to think more clearly and make wiser decisions during stressful moments. Faith also helps people maintain hope when circumstances seem discouraging. There are times when progress feels slow, or when efforts do not immediately produce the desired results. A student may work hard but still struggle with exams. A worker may put great effort into their job yet face unexpected setbacks. A family may pray for solutions while dealing with ongoing challenges. In these situations, hope becomes essential. Trusting God reminds us that delays do not mean failure. Sometimes God allows time for preparation, growth, or new opportunities that we cannot yet see. Another important aspect of trusting God during difficult times is patience. In a fast-moving world, people often expect instant results. Technology, communication, and modern life have made many things quick and convenient. However, the most meaningful changes in life often require time. Personal growth, healing, and success usually develop gradually. Faith encourages people to remain patient while trusting that God's timing is always perfect. Even when the journey feels long, patience allows individuals to continue moving forward without giving up. Trusting God also strengthens a person's courage. When someone believes that God is with them, they are more willing to face challenges rather than avoid them. Courage does not mean the absence of fear, it means choosing to move forward despite fear. Faith reminds believers that they are never truly alone in their struggles. God's presence provides the strength needed to endure hardships and continue striving for a better future. During difficult moments, prayer becomes an important expression of trust. When people speak to God about their fears, doubts, and hopes, They acknowledge that they need His guidance. Prayer helps transform anxiety into faith because it reminds the heart that God listens and cares. Instead of carrying worries silently, prayer allows individuals to share their burdens with a loving and understanding Creator. This act of surrender often brings comfort and renewed strength. Trusting God also encourages people to look beyond their current situation. When someone is facing a problem, it is easy to believe that the difficulty will last forever. But faith reminds us that every season eventually changes. Hard times do not define a person's entire life. Many stories of success and inspiration began with moments of struggle. Individuals who continued to trust God through their hardships often discovered new opportunities, new strengths, and new purposes that they never expected. In addition, trusting God during challenges can inspire others. When people see someone remain calm, hopeful, and faithful in the middle of difficulties, it becomes a powerful example. It shows that faith is not just something spoken about in comfortable times, but something that truly supports a person during hardship. This kind of example can encourage friends, family members, and communities to also develop stronger faith and resilience. Difficult moments can also deepen a person's relationship with God. When life is easy, people may sometimes forget to seek spiritual guidance. But during struggles, they often turn to God more sincerely. These moments of honest prayer and reflection can lead to a stronger connection with Him. As faith grows stronger, individuals learn to rely on God not only in trouble, but in every part of their lives. Ultimately, trusting God in difficult times transforms fear into faith and weakness into strength. It reminds people that challenges are temporary, but God's presence is constant. When believers place their confidence in Him, they discover courage to face problems, patience to endure waiting, and hope to continue moving forward. Even in the darkest moments, faith becomes a light that guides them toward peace, growth, and a brighter future. Prayer is more than a religious practice. It is a powerful way to strengthen the inner life of a person. Every human being faces moments of weakness, confusion, and emotional struggle. There are times when people feel tired from responsibilities, discouraged by failure, or uncertain about the future. In such moments, the human heart needs something deeper than physical rest or external success. It needs spiritual strength and inner peace. Prayer provides this strength because it connects the human soul with God, the ultimate source of wisdom, hope, and power. When a person spends time in prayer, something important begins to happen inside them. Their mind slows down from the rush of daily life, and their heart becomes open to reflection. Modern life is often filled with noise, pressure, and constant activity. People move quickly from one task to another, sometimes without taking time to think about their deeper purpose or emotional well-being. Prayer creates a quiet moment in which a person can step away from distractions and focus on what truly matters. In this peaceful space, they can speak honestly with God about their struggles, their hopes, and their dreams. One of the greatest benefits of prayer is the sense of peace it brings to the heart. Worry and anxiety are common experiences in life. People worry about their health, their studies, their work, their family, and many other responsibilities. When these worries build up, they can make a person feel overwhelmed. Prayer helps release this emotional burden. When someone talks to God about their concerns, they no longer feel as though they must carry every problem alone. The act of sharing these worries with God brings relief and comfort. Even if the situation has not yet changed, the heart becomes calmer because it trusts that God understands and cares. Prayer also develops patience, which is an important quality for personal growth. Many people want immediate answers to their problems. They hope that success, healing, or solutions will appear instantly. However, life often requires waiting. Dreams take time to develop. Relationships require patience, and personal improvement happens gradually. Through prayer, people learn to accept that some things unfold slowly according to God's plan. This understanding helps them remain calm and hopeful during seasons of waiting instead of becoming frustrated or discouraged. Another important way prayer builds inner strength is by encouraging self-awareness. When people pray sincerely, they often reflect on their own thoughts, attitudes, and actions. They may realize areas where they need improvement, such as being more patient, more forgiving, or more compassionate toward others. Prayer encourages humility because it reminds individuals that they are not perfect and that they need God's guidance to grow. This process of reflection helps a person become wiser and more emotionally mature over time. Prayer also strengthens resilience, the ability to recover from difficulties and continue moving forward. Everyone experiences setbacks at some point in life. A student may fail an important exam. A worker may face unexpected obstacles in their career. A person may experience loss or disappointment in relationships. These experiences can make people feel discouraged if they believe failure defines their future. However, prayer reminds them that God's support is always available. When individuals bring their pain and disappointment to God, they often discover renewed motivation to try again. This spiritual encouragement helps them stand up after failure and continue pursuing their goals. Another beautiful aspect of prayer is that it fills the heart with hope. Hope is a powerful force that motivates people to keep moving forward even when circumstances are challenging. Without hope, individuals may feel trapped by their problems. But when someone believes that God is guiding their life, they develop confidence that better days are ahead. Prayer keeps this hope alive by reminding people that God's plans are greater than their current difficulties. In addition to strengthening the individual, prayer also improves relationships with others. When a person regularly spends time in prayer, they become more aware of the importance of kindness, forgiveness, and compassion. They recognize that just as they ask God for mercy and understanding, they should also show these qualities toward other people. Prayer softens the heart and reduces anger, jealousy, and bitterness. Instead, it encourages love, patience, and empathy. This transformation creates healthier relationships within families, communities, and workplaces. Prayer can also inspire wisdom in decision-making. Life is full of choices, some small and some very important. Choosing a career path, making financial decisions, or resolving personal conflicts often requires careful thought. When people pray for guidance, they invite God's wisdom into their decisions. This does not mean that answers will always appear immediately, but prayer helps clear the mind and focus on what is truly right. It encourages people to think carefully, consider their values, and seek the path that leads to peace and integrity. Another important effect of prayer is gratitude. When people regularly communicate with God, they begin to recognize the many blessings present in their lives. Sometimes individuals become so focused on their problems that they overlook the good things around them. Prayer reminds them to be thankful for health, family, opportunities, and even simple daily experiences. Gratitude changes the way people view life. Instead of constantly feeling dissatisfied, they begin to appreciate the gifts they already have. This positive perspective increases happiness and emotional well-being. Prayer also strengthens faith during uncertain times. The future is often unpredictable, and uncertainty can create fear. People may worry about what will happen tomorrow or how they will handle upcoming challenges. When they pray, they place their future in God's hands. This act of trust reduces fear and replaces it with confidence that God will provide guidance and support. Over time, regular prayer becomes a foundation for a strong and balanced life. It nourishes the spirit just as food nourishes the body. Through prayer, individuals develop peace in their hearts, patience in their struggles, wisdom in their decisions, and hope for the future. These qualities form the inner strength that helps a person face life's challenges with courage and faith. Ultimately, prayer transforms the inner life of a person. It brings calmness in moments of stress, clarity in moments of confusion, and strength in moments of weakness. By maintaining a sincere and consistent connection with God, individuals discover that true power does not come only from physical ability or external success. It comes from a strong spirit, a peaceful heart, and a deep trust in God's presence and guidance in every part of life.